Hey, my name is Mr. Today we'll be taking a look at this guy, the full armor, high grade RXO Unicorn Gundam red frame version. Now apparently this figure or this Gundam comes from the anime Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, which is somewhere around 2008 or 2016. I'm not sure. Please correct me in the comments. Now, this is a model kit, which means you have to build it and paint it or add some stickers if you're a lazy hack like me. Well, of course, the issue with stickers is that they tend to flop off in some places, which I don't like. But here it's minimal. All you have to use is the eye stickers. But if you want, you could always use decals like I did. As you can see, there's some decals there on the crotch. There's a bit of decals in the chest, the shoulders, and some other parts like the legs and so. Now, the difference with this and the full armor, or the regular version, sorry, the difference between those two, the regular one and the full armor, is that this one comes with extra accessories. As you can see, it comes with two of these missile launchers, which just snap, plug in to these two ports here. As you can see, just plug that in. Just plug this in like so, and yeah, that just holds it up like so. And now that looks very nice and all, but you know, I like it. I like the missile batteries. It keeps it from looking too plain, like plain of a Gundam, because all you can see here is white and red. Now, for my issues on this figure itself, the shields are kind of hard to place in. Now let's get to the accessories when I get into that. Now here's a shield, the same one that he's mounted on, that is mounted on the Gundam. Now these two clips here, they just clip onto the two holes on the arms there. Now my issue is the shield is kind of hard to place in. So you can see, it's just supported by. Let's just fix this real quick. And there you go. And yeah, so my issue with the shield is that, as you can see, it just is in that peg, and it just breaks into this hole over here. So that just breaks in there. So I recommend when you're placing in the Gatling gun shield, you must place the Gatling gun first for the shield, because you might stress the plastic and you might snap off that peg. There's another connection, and I don't recommend using super glue if you're not a professional user of super glue. Now for the shield, or all of the three shields, you do get an adapter. So you get 3 adapters for each of these shields. Now I just get one of these adapters, like so. Like so, over here. So I get this adapter and just plug it in like so in that peg hole on the Gatling gun, and you get one of these 3 stands which are included. One of those 3 stands, and you just plug it in. Make sure that that stand adapter is in that position. Now you just plug this in there, and bada bing, the shield's now flying. Now in the anime, the shield actually flies. All of these 3 shields do fly. And as a bonus feature, you will get this accessory over here, which is basically a thing, or a stand adapter for the 3 shields, which just plug in there in the front shield adapter. And that's to simulate the triple shield thing, whatever you want to call it. He does come with a plain shield over here. Plain shield has the adapter. Now this can go in his back without any hassles, and you do get the adapter for this to make it mount on his arm, like the plain one. Since this is just the high grade, the regular high grade with some extra decals and a few full armor extra accessories, well, it's practically the same. Now you can build this in the plain shield configuration, I'll just show you in a bit. Here it is. Now, I didn't assemble it because it's plain. Who wants to Gundam Unicorn shield plain? I want my Unicorn Gundam shield with Psycho Frame on it. What I mean by Psycho Frame is all these clear parts on the Gundam. As you can see, there's some clear parts there. All of those are separated by parts. Now, let's get into my issues with this figure. First of all, one of the legs are loose. Since with the part separation, the legs, this leg tends to fall off. And now most of the parts here are separated by white and red. It's part separation. The shield is, you guys can see, each of these white pieces are separated, and they do tend to fall off very quickly, and that's an issue. And if you were to place it back, you should remove the Gatling gun from the shield so you don't snap off that peg I was talking about. Now, for his accessories, he does come with a beam javelin. Now, this is the first configuration, which you just get the grabby arm like so, and just separate it like so, and just place it back on, or peg that on back or where you pegged it on, and there you go. Now, as you can see, one of the shield's white pieces fell off, and that's an issue when you're posting this figure. It's a bit of a pain to place them back. Really a pain. Now, there you go. Now we have the Unicorn Gundam with a beam javelin, and personally, I do like the beam javelin. Oops, let's just place this back. Let's place the arm back. Yeah, so I personally like this beam javelin. It looks nice. I do like how it's like a beam saber, but just a big spear. Now, you do get an extra accessory for it. Now, this one is to make it longer, and just place these two pieces, which are removable, in there, and that's how you make it longer, basically. Now, yeah, I do like this thing. Now, he does come with beam sabers. He comes with 4. Now, these just get one of the beam effect parts, and you just plug it in there, and now just plug it into the arm, and there you go. Now he has a beam saber. I do like the beam sabers. I prefer them personally over the beam rifles because they're more iconic for looking like the lightsabers from Star Wars, you know. My personal opinion, but sometimes I do like the beam rifles when they're like really long. Now, let's just place this back. Now, he does have beam sabers on his arms, in the back of his arms. They just they don't fold or anything, like they don't have a hinge joint on them. That's kind of a sad opportunity. Now, this figure comes with 2 of these bazookas. Now, my issue with this bazooka is that it's wobbly, and yeah, it's wobbly and all, and it doesn't feel good. And that part here, as you can see right now, does not like to plug in. Here it is with the other shield. It does have that part. It should have that part, but it doesn't want to go in. That's kind of an issue with these bazookas, but overall they look cool. I like it. My Gundam bazookas. Gundam bazookas are badass. Now, let's get to the beam rifle. Now, here's the beam rifle, and there it is. Now, this has a dongle thing or a grip which can make it hold, which can make the Gundam hold it with 2 hands, like in the show. Now, there's a sticker here. As you can see, that side, it's in the sticker. Now, to compare it by size, here it is with the bazooka. Here's the bazooka, here's the beam rifle. Bazooka is longer, but beam rifle is longer. This is longer than the RX version, or the RX beam rifle, because that's an old figure, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we just remove his arm, and replace it with into the trigger finger arm. Now let's just close up. There you go, and just get it in there. Make sure that you plug it in like so, and just plug it in with the other part of the finger, or the other fingers. and just plug that in. There you go. Now you have it in its beam rifle. Oopsie. Now you have it in. Now that should make it have wield the beam rifle. But unfortunately, since this figure is fragile, it tends to fall off. Really irritating. I hate how this figure, or the high grade line itself, is very fragile. Well, it's not playable. It's not meant for playing, but I understand what they intend. So yeah, here it is with the beam rifle on. No, the beam rifle doesn't want to go in. So yeah, that's a minor issue as well. Since due to this peg hole system on the arm, it's kind of hard to get that in, really in. And this is also the same way you can place the bazookas on his arms, and that's a whole different story. I don't want to get into that. It's very oh damn, it's very hard to place this in. As you can see, I am suffering inside really hard. That's my issue with that. So anyway, let's get to more accessories. Now we do get two rockets. Two of these rockets. They're very long. They're hollow in the center. No detail whatsoever. And this red piece is just sticker. And you have a stand which you can remove. And there you go. Here you go. Now you can configure this until whenever you want to. It can be until the edge, it can be there or wherever you want to, but the box says that it has to be on the first one or in the highest configuration. Now yeah, that's it for this. Get two first. Now let's combine this guy into his full armor mode. This figure into the unicorn mode. First you must get this adapter. Now this adapter goes on his back like so, and plugs in on where the shield and the other weapons go in when he's in his normal mode. Now you plug in the missile battery and the rocket in either sides and plug them in like so. They are a ton of weight. They give a ton of weight to the Gundam, and as you can see, it's holding up. Now, as you can see here, there is a peg, and that would peg in over here, that peg there, as you can see. Now, that just plugs in like so. Just plugs in, and yeah, and that stays there really nice for a heavy weapon on his back. Now the rockets, very explanatory. Just plug them in these two holes on the sides. Just plug in like so, and same thing for the other rocket. It just goes in like so. Now here you go. Now this is the beam or the full armor mode, I mean. So yeah, this appears in one episode of the anime, if I remember correctly. Now let's just give him back his arm like so. There you go. And yeah, he gains a ton of weight from this big ass rockets or jetpacks, whatever you want to call them. And he does get a bit taller with these two bazookas sticking out with the missile batteries on. But unfortunately, I can't place this in full armor mode in my shelf because of the tall bazookas and the long back. Now, I do like the Gatling guns personally. I like how it goes with two bazookas when you want to use it. But the rockets, I think, are too excessive for my taste. But I like the missile batteries on the bottom. It's very simple. And I like how it comes with more than one shield, so he could dual wield his shields. Now, of course, you can always hold on to the beam rifle or to the beam javelin if you wanted so. But this is the base full armor mode. Now, in the back, now that clip there, you can attach a weapon. You just have to use an adapter to attach one. the adapter for the shield I was talking about. Now let's just remove his cable real quick, or not cable, but his mess on his back. There we go. Now he's back on his normal mode. Well, personally, I prefer, more weapons, more guns on the Gundam, but this will do. And as you can see, the issue with the white part separation, it's very irritating when those two come out, so be very careful not to mess that up. And now let's just plug his arm back, and just plug. Now I have a stand here, and I'm using the plug, or the butt plug, as I call it. It just plugs in because this guy fortunately comes with a butt plug. And there you go. Now that's him in the stand, or the flight stand. Now, if you were to get a Gundam, I recommend that you get a flight stand. Now, as for the figure itself, the figure is nice. I do like red and white. I do like red in my Gundam. I'm a red person, personally. And if you are a fan of the anime, do get this figure, or at least. But with a certain part separation issues and a lot of accessories, and how everything snaps on is also kind of an issue because of how it only snaps onto a peg. Now, also another issue, when you are sticking this beam javelin piece into the longer beam javelin piece, now this piece is just resting on there. It's not pegged into anything else, so it's loose. It tends to fall off, and that can get very irritating sometimes. Now, those are my issues. Some parts are loose, but then overall, the looks of the figure very nice, and almost forgot to mention that his head, this V-fin, is also loose. If you just strike it with a bit of force, it might come off, and it's really small. That piece is the piece that is holding the V-fin on place, and if that falls, you might lose it. Some dogs might eat it, or your kids might eat it. But yeah, I like the details on this figure. I do like how this figure looks. It's really nice. I wish that they could have gone with just some metallic red, or some sort of different red, because this is kind of like pinkish red. Well, I'm a transparent red person. They could have just gone with the color like the stand. Like, I prefer the color of the stand versus the figure here, because in the anime, if I remember correctly, he is kind of pinkish, but I prefer red, and that's why I wanted this figure, because he was transparent red. And yeah, overall, this figure is basically a high-grade Unicorn Gundam with some extra accessories. So if you like the anime, but you don't want too much gimmicks or stuff, to get this figure. And if you're not, and also if you're an adult and you don't play with, or you don't touch it very often, this is a good figure for you, because you wouldn't feel the issues if you don't touch it every 5 seconds. Don't be like me. I did it once. Came out bad. Well, yeah. Overall, the figure is nice, and I like this figure. It's not the best, but I think you should go get real grade. That is the same size as this figure, but a bit smaller. I mean, a bit smaller details, more decals, and it does transform. So yeah, I guess do get that one if you do have the budget. But yeah, as of me, to have this figure, and this figure is nice. It's decent. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel at Your Parents. Please follow me on Facebook at Your Parents as well, with a 0. Yes, with a 0. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, see you next time.